Anyway, 30 years looked like yesterday, and it's exciting to be back. Oh, this is O. You know, it's like going to where you were born, your village, your father's house. No matter how old it is, you feel proud that this is where you were raised. This is the second time of coming to Olaoye Petroleum Engineering Department after I left in 1994. I did drive down, I think 2 or 3 occasions. First, alone, it was in the night. I came to Ibadan and I said, let me go and look at Petroleum Engineering Department. There was nobody, drove around, that was around 8 o'clock. Then the second time, I came into the country with my children and I told them, we're going to the great University of Ibadan. They were so excited. I brought them down here. It was a holiday. They were so happy. And my first child said, Daddy, I know there are 2 things that excite you, that gets you high up there. Anytime they're talking about University of Ibadan and they're talking about soccer. The third one is engineering, and I know it has something to do with University of Ibadan. So, fellow students, I consider myself part of you as students, because when you have able lecturers here, we have the HOD, then we have the one and only one Professor Sunday is Sir, I consider myself privileged to have been taught by you right from 200 level. And I remember what Professor then, Mr. Isenwa, used to say. He would come into the class with his notes and he would look at us. I guess we were just 21 that got to 200 level. And he would look at you and say, what a large class. And all of us would be so scared. I said, well, and he would not, this smile, so cheeky, and he would say, well, I'm not too sure all of you will graduate. And we'll be like, and I found out later that I was a member, and I think he's still a member of IBCU. I didn't know. I was passing through Adasotambelo Hall, and there was this poster. I think he was going to give a lecture, or either do preach. And I said, Mr. Sewa is a Christian. He's not even a Christian, he's born again. Wow. But it's good because he helped shape our future. On behalf of the Gankco family, I say we're privileged to be here. I bring greetings from every member of the Gankco family, from Abuja, from Port Harcourt, and I also bring greetings from Ayola and Mubarak. The Gankco family is well represented here. I know we've introduced ourselves, first by myself and my co-stakeholder, Ms. Naomi Peters and Mr. Nathaniel Ojo, Ms. Sarah Joseph, and Engineer A.J. Mohamodu, who I call the grandchild of University of Ibadan. ACE was trained and developed by the likes of Professor Olaoye and Professor Kelani. They are products of this great department. And he's still being mentored by yours truly. He is my brother from another mother. We do not see ourselves in Gankco as colleagues or workers. We see ourselves as family. Thank you. We appreciate the opportunity your Petroleum Engineering Department, Society of Petroleum Engineers, has given us to come here and interact with you. Personally, coming to this department, I repeat, it rolls back the years. So we are excited, I'm excited, and you will hear me say this often. There are only 2 universities in the world. University of Ibadan and others. Not just because of the size, not just because of the age, but because of the quality of products. We are proud to see what you do as students. Competitions, petro quiz, even in the area of coding. Some of us that are privileged to join you on social media and to read news, we are proud to be associated with you. And UISP, you are actually improving a lot of activities, a lot of collaborative efforts. We really appreciate it. Gankco Energy Services, like you heard my colleague, Ms. Sarah Joseph said, we are not just a service providing company. We're not just a service provider. We are a solution provider. What do we do? Yes, every business is set up to make money. But money is useless if you don't give back to the society. And this environment, this community, the university community is part of the society. You are part of the society. We continuously improve the process. We look for ways to solve problems. Our efforts at making fossil fuel sustainable is ongoing. Our engineers work daily to improve themselves and to also improve the process and to also provide clean energy. We collaborate with our clients to lower unit operating costs. That's what Gankco does. I said, energy is not sustainable if it does not improve the quality of life and it's not also affordable. So that is what we do to help do that, to help achieve that. Now, one of our main goals is to give back to the community, to give back to the society. We're not only, partnering or collaborating with student bodies, we also give back to the communities that we operate in. We give back to the country. That's part of our corporate social responsibilities. We develop capacities. I used to think that I was a bad teacher until Ms. Peters and myself met and we started working to get Gankco going. And each time I would talk, and she would say, "You've just spoken too much. Wow, you have so much content." I'd be like, "No, I'm a bad teacher." But until we started taking interns, not just from University of Ibadan, but from Uniben, Covenant University, of course. I'm biased, you know that. So I make sure that UI guys are, sorry Nathaniel, I pray, not I make sure, that UI guys come in. And he hired a youth corper recently. I told him that we need a youth corper in our Abuja office to work with Miss Joseph. I prefer a mechanical engineer, not just petroleum engineer. I want to cross-train him, and I also want my PEs to have mechanical engineering mindset. And he went out rather to his group. The first CV was a product of UI. And I said, okay, I want to be part of the interview. I think he interviewed 2 or 3 people. And he sent me the results. He said, UI guys, and he said, sir, I know you'll be happy. I said, no, it doesn't make any difference. No, I was happy. Why? Not because it's from UI. I believe that he has passed through the same system I passed through. And when I spoke to him, I asked him, I said, I will need you to be able to do this, this, this. I know they taught you this, they taught you this, they taught you this. It's a product of mechanical engineering, Tolu Obafaye. By the time he started and he was working, Madam called me. Ms. Peter said, wow, Tolu is amazing. So we are happy to see this. Not just from the University of Ibadan. There are people who also went to University of Benin, petroleum engineering. They are doing great. Your interns. I learned a lot from Ms. God's Favor Omare. A lot. Tosin was with us. I remember teaching them web delivery, BHA design, and he challenge everything. I still don't get this. It still doesn't, I still don't understand. Why is this? And one thing, Tosin is not scared to ask questions. He's not. And we got to the field. First, from God's favor. I found out that any time between 2:30, right, or 3, between 1:30 and 2:30, no matter what you're doing, God's favor will not be seen. And no matter the severity of the sun or the heat, God's favor will be somewhere observing our siesta. So everybody told me that. I said, please, where is God's favor? And Ace, who led the taxi, said, sir, she's having a nap. I said, happy? No way. I'll go. And she'll be there innocently. At times sweating, but she has to observe her nap. But she'll come back, and everything that happened while she was asleep, she'll make sure to explain it and she'll get it. The first 3 days, I will look at her and I say, God's favor, I hope your dad is not going to sue me. Because, wow, you're so fragile. You can't do this. Say, no, I will. And guess what? God's favor stayed true, and she witnessed everything about intervention from wellhead all the way to treatable completions. And we are happy. To Tosin, initially I was like, wow, this guy. Tosin, I don't think my view, because you need to understand it. And she will just drop his head, but not that she's disappointed. He is disappointed, or he is willing, and he's going to ask that same question until he gets it. He got to the field, he struggled the first 1 or 2 days. I thought, man, this guy is going to run away. No. Today, Tosin is a better student than when he first came. So this is one of the good news we have, and it's one of the things that make us proud as a company. What's our aim today? We had a talk, going around, and I want to add, This place was bush when we were in school, right, sir? I think electrical engineering, there was a lab somewhere here that they used to send us for electrical. This place you see, what's the name of that big rat? Emma or something like that. You used to see them, and of course, snake. So I was surprised when Abib took me here last July. And I said, where are we going? He said, Petroleum Engineering Department. No, this is not petroleum. I said, no, this is petroleum. So I've seen a lot of offices, the labs, and all those things. So we've seen things that we can, areas we can collaborate with the department, the students, and of course the lecturers. And I also take words back to my fellow alumni of petroleum engineering. We call it the UI Petroleum 1994. That's our group. A lot of people who are still active, working for multinationals. Some have their own companies, and they are passionate about University of Ibadan. The only constraint we have is the location of Ibadan. Some of us fly into the country from Lagos, we have to go straight to Port Harcourt. From Port Harcourt, we have to go to Abuja, back. And if you have to come from Abuja, you have to wait for ARPs, and I think they have selected dates. So, but we're working around it. Myself and Professor Isenwa will discuss a lot on areas to make our impact felt, so that one day we are going to leave the scene. It's either we are tired, or though we may be retired, but we are not tired. We are not lecturers like Dr. Mrs. and Professor that are here, but when you jump around, so we want people like you, we want to pass the baton to you. We want you to be able to stand where I'm standing today in a couple of years' time, and also bring people together and tell stories. We also want to whet your appetite. The industry is interesting. Very, very, very interesting. And I want to tell you, do not narrow yourself. I ask questions. Did you do this course? Did you go to statistics? Did you go to mathematics? Did you go to economics? Prof, when we are here, and you insist that we should go to statistics, we should go to economics. I know, geology, I'm getting there. You will insist. Then Prof will say, this is department of no compulsory, no electives, everything is required and everything will count towards your GPA. And another thing will tell you, this is department of answer all questions. I hope it is still the same. Thank you. Please don't think they are tormenting you. Those of you, I think, Favor and Tosin, I left in 1994. We were to leave in 1993, but because of the political crisis, we were asked to shorten the school, so we came back for our final exam in 94. So that's why we are 94, so we're supposed to be 93 set. A lot of courses, when I'm teaching well delivery, well engineering, drilling optimization, BHA design, I remind them, Fluid Mechanics 1, they taught you this. Some of them will be looking up. Star 141, they taught you this. Some of them will be like, how do you remember? I say, yes. I did not appreciate them until I became a well engineer. So, please, take them seriously. All your geology courses, they are very, very, very important. I cannot overemphasize this. For some of you who don't like geology, I hated geology. I wrote an article, and I remember Prof, I think he went to the notice board then and he saw my name then. We had this class, Computer Applications in Petroleum Engineering, and he looked at me, Abiodun Olaoye, the article writer. You understand? Because I wrote something against geology, but I did not appreciate it until probably, I guess, 10 years later. A product of University of Ibadan geology is late now, Mr. Bobby Fadashi said. Olaoye, if you want to be a successful well engineer, go back to geology. All geology. So, if I ask you, how many geology students are here? You're from geology. All of you are geology students. So if you say you are not from geology department, I'm so sorry. Whether you're a petroleum engineer or you're a production engineer, you're a drilling engineer, some of you want to be in drilling. What I tell them, every day to be a successful well engineer, I'm a well engineer. I can't remember anything in reservoir engineering again, but I use it. You know what I say? When you wake up, stay in the well, live in the well until you go back to bed. So you have to do what? Think 3D. So for you to be successful, you have to be in the well. So, Gankco Energy, when you hear us or you think about us, think of engineered solutions. We do everything to fit to meet the demands and the objectives of our clients. We intend to learn more from you and also share our experiences. My colleagues have their time to talk. Once again, it's good to be home. Thank you.